I'm not late, right? I'm not late, right? Hey, hope you guys can hear me. I'm gonna check my stream real quick because, or my sound rather. Oop, there I am. Okay, welcome to my stream today. My name is Kathy. I'm an artist. Every day in November, I come on here and we talk about an artist of the 19th century. It's really wild. Okay, I think I overused the word wild. I counted, no, I didn't count, but yesterday I noticed I used it a bunch. So I'll try and lay off the word wild today. It's okay. And that puts me in a spot where now I have to think of another word. It's really wild how interesting, that's another word that I use a lot, so get used to that one. It's really wild how interesting the 19th century was just to live in, and the culture and the socio-political stuff and how everything like merges all together. And then when you add an artist's life, it's fascinating to hear about, to read about artists that you know now from back in the day. Maybe you read their children's books when you were a kid. Maybe you never heard of them at all, but when you look at their art, you'll be like, that looks familiar, and that's because they inspired other artists. Maybe they have a piece of art that you see on every different product in the store, because it's in the public domain now, but they're just that famous. So that's what we do here on most mornings when I come on here. I do a Wikipedia read of their life, of their page, and then I drink some coffee, and hopefully you drink some coffee or some nice beverage of choice, warm tea or apple cider or whatever you like. And then we do an homage piece. And that can be anything from like, let's copy their artwork to learn how they did stuff, or let's copy one of their artworks, but not really copy it, like do it like in a new way. Or it can be, anything, a portrait. It can be, today I'm going to do, okay, spoiler. Today I'm going to do a book cover. I don't even think that they designed it because they don't have to design it. It's an homage. It's not, I don't have to do something that redesign something that they designed. You know, it's a book they did, illustrated. Anyway, am I like getting off track here? I just wanted to say welcome. Step on in, get cozy. Let's do a chat today. Let's do a Wikipedia read. Let's learn about this woman, Eleanor Vere Boyle, who I now recognize some of her work, but like just the Hans Christian Andersen stuff. So I don't know anything about her except that she was a Victorian era artist, children's artist, and garden artist. So she did like botanical stuff, but I didn't find any. So you're not going to see any botanical stuff in our little video slideshow thing. But yeah, so let's do this. And at the top, I just wanted to say too that on Saturday's stream, I'm going to be doing a preview of what we're going to be doing in December. And then Sunday, I'm going to drop the prompts list and the schedule into the posts tab on my YouTube. So keep a lookout for that. And if you are interested in what's going to be going on, come on Saturday and we will do a preview. I'm going to show you what materials I'm going to be using, but it doesn't mean you have to use the same ones. You can use whatever you want. The sky is the limit, really. It's just, this is all about togetherness and creativity. So whatever works for you, whatever, you're doing. But I'm going to keep repeating that, and you don't even know what I'm talking about yet because I haven't told you anything. I did talk about it yesterday on yesterday's stream. I kind of want to maybe if I don't talk about it now, if I don't give details, maybe it'll build intrigue. I don't know. But anyway, let's do this. Okay, Eleanor Vere Boyle. Let us dig into her life via the Wikipedia page. But before I do that, I'm going to just grab a sip of my coffee first. Cheers. Ooh, it looks like a bubbling, it looks like ooh, do I see a soap bubble in there? Uh-oh, did I rinse I know I rinsed my mug out really good after washing it. I think I might have made my coffee a little strong today. Oh yeah, that's definitely strong. Even when you put in too many grounds in your French press, it's still delicious. Still delicious. I'm lucky like that with this. It's a light roast, so that helps. I don't like a real roasty coffee. Anyway. All right, 1 second. Just got to move some stuff around on my desk here. Make sure my coffee cup doesn't go falling on the floor. Okay. Let's roll. Eleanor Vere Boyle from Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. We needed a theme chime. Ding, ding. Eleanor Vere Boyle, née Gordon, May 1, 1825 to 29 July. Oops. I meant July 29. I always try and swap the month and the day just because I like to do that, but Wikipedia writes it the other way. Sometimes I just read it that way. Let's start over. Eleanor Vere Boyle, née Gordon, 1 May 1825, 29 July 1916, was a Scottish artist of the Victorian era whose work consisted mainly of watercolor illustrations in children's books. These illustrations were strongly influenced by the Pre-Raphaelites, being highly detailed and haunting in context. Love and death were popular subject matter of Pre-Raphaelite art and something that can be seen in Boyle's work. I'm going to show you real quick. We're going to roll over Pre-Raphaelite, and I'm going to read a little blurb to you, okay? This has come up a lot in this month, but for anybody new here, the Pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood, later known as the Pre-Raphaelites, was a group of English painters, poets, and art critics founded in 1848 by William Holman Hunt, John Everett Millais, a bunch of people. So it's an art movement. Let's see what it focuses on real quick. Okay, partly modeled on the Nazarene movement, which was another art movement. And we don't need to read all this. Doctrines. To have genuine ideas to express, to study nature attentively so as to know how to express them, to sympathize what is direct and serious and heartfelt in previous art, to the exclusion of what is conventional and self-parading and learned by rote. Ooh, I love this. And most indispensable of all, to produce thoroughly good pictures and statues. I want to know themes because they always look kind of religious, I mean, you know what I mean, right? Public controversy. How did this become about the Pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood? Because we need to find out about this a little more. Digging a little deeper. Blasphemous. Okay, the controversy is there's been some religious blasphemy controversy with their paintings. I'm skimming and then putting through the filter for you, so we don't have to slog through this because we're going to go back to our friend Eleanor right now. Okay, so we know a little bit about the Pre-Raphaelites, and her illustrations were strongly influenced by them, being highly detailed and haunting in context. Love and death were popular subject matter. Okay. Dante Gabriel Rossetti, the founder of the Pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood. There he is. Even called her work great in design. Okay, so he really liked her work. So she was kind of like an honorary, right? Maybe. Although she was born in 1825. When were the Pre-Raphaelite? 1848. Okay, she's kind of one of them, right? However, even though she was one of the first women artists to be recognized for her achievements, she did not exhibit or sell work often, as it was not acceptable given her family's aristocratic background. Thus, she signed her works EVB, which is so iconic, by the way. That is so goth and like wild. EVB. That's so Kat Von D-ish. Or like, I have 3 initials and they're all like XVX, you know, or something like that. I don't know. To obscure, okay, she signed her works EVB to obscure her identity and quickly become one of the most important female illustrators in the 1860s. Cool. Okay. Life. Eleanor Vere Gordon was born in 1825 in Scotland at Ochloon's house in Mary Cutter, Kincaidenshire, now Aberdeenshire, the daughter of Alexander Gordon of Ille and Castle, the illegitimate son of George Gordon III, Earl of Aberdeen. Alphabet soup to me. Her mother, Albina Elizabeth Cumberland, was the granddaughter of the dramatist Richard Cumberland and George Hobart, 3rd Earl of Buckinghamshire. I don't like no lineage stuff like that, so I'm just reading it. And if you do, then you can follow that. I'm just kind of like... The youngest of 9 children, she was raised in the Scottish hills above the River Dee. The diplomat George John Robert Gordon was her elder brother. She later moved to England and married Han. Richard Cavendish Boyle, son of the... Oh, not Han. Honorable, like honor. Richard Cavendish Boyle. I'm thinking his name is Han, and that's the end of the period. No. And she married Honorable Richard Cavendish Boyle, son of the 8th Earl of Cork and chaplain to Queen Victoria. Wait, what's a chaplain? Is a chaplain like... Is it like a priest? Or is it like a doorman type of thing? Hold on. Let's look it up real quick, because we need to know. These things are important. A chaplain is a member of the clergy who provides spiritual and emotional support. Okay. And in non-religious institutions like hospitals, military units, prisons, and schools. Okay. Yeah. Chaplain. Okay. Hold on. I'm just catching up. Where was I? Next time I do that, I'm going to do like that, so I don't lose my place. That coffee's like really good today. Okay. Excuse me as I still try and find where I was. And my nose is going. I need a tissue. Okay, got a tissue. Everything's right within hand reach. Isn't that handy? Okay. Where's the brother? I still can't find this. What's going on here? Okay, no. Brother. Okay, found it. She later moved to England and married Honorable Richard Cavendish Boyle, son of the 8th Earl of Cork and chaplain to Queen Victoria. My apologies for my losing my place. That was really annoying, and I apologize for that. Okay. Boyle's fascination with nature strongly influenced her later work. which primarily consisted of garden books after her husband died. However, during her lifetime, up until she died in 1916, she produced and was highly acclaimed for work for children's books. Totaled up, Eleanor had written or illustrated 21 books in about a 50-year time span. All these works were inspired by many things in which Eleanor was fascinated: nature, but also fate, dreams, and flowing water. Principal works. Here we are. Her fascinations and their influence were clear in her illustrations she created for the poet Tennyson's May Queen in 1852. Such fascinations were even more evident in her illustrations for Hans Christian Andersen's fairy tales in 1872, which was one of the earliest editions illustrated by an English person. It included 12 full-color images and many other line drawings. Andersen had a definite dark side to many of her stories, with Boyle's ability to translate it into visual form. With her own slightly sinister taste, this edition was made to be one of the most cohesive between illustration and writing. Ooh, I love that. So there was a good marriage there. Meeting of the minds, meeting of the creative, everything. This cohesiveness set a new standard for the future illustration in Hans Andersen's work. Some of the most highly acclaimed illustrations from this book include The Snow Queen, The Wild Swans, The Ugly Duckling, The Little Mermaid, Thumbkinetta, The Garden of Paradise, The Fellow Traveler, which inspired Tolkien's The Hobbit, and The Angel. Okay, I am going to I will put these, if I remember, and I'm going to actually screenshot it so I don't forget. I'm going to put these in the description at the end of the Zoom. Why am I calling this a Zoom? It's not a Zoom. I'm going to put a list of this list of artworks in the description at the end of the stream, and I'm going to try and find links for all of them. So when you want to look at these pictures, because I don't have them here today. I don't have like, oh, that's the Snow Queen, that's a this, that's a that. I don't have that, but I will put them so you can look at them and see what she is most popular for. Because I was just thinking, I got prepared last night I did the slideshow and everything, but I didn't Google, and I really should do this. I got to get in the habit of doing this, like most known works of person, because that's, we want to see what their most known works are, right? Okay. 3 years later, in 1875, I'm scrolling up moment, and here we are, right here. 3 years later, in 1875, Boyle created what is considered one of her greatest works, a retelling and illustration of the story Beauty and the Beast. This book includes, I'm scrolling down a little bit here, okay, because otherwise I'm gonna... This book includes 10 full-color images. She is praised most for her unique take on the beast. While this story has been illustrated many times, Boyle's version seems to be the first and only to be reminiscent of a sea creature. Ooh, with walrus-like tusks and flippers. We have to look at that. We're going deep. Hold on. Okay, maybe not deep, but we're going in. Is this the one that she illustrated, though? Okay, we're going to look that up. Actually, this is not the end of our story today with learning about her on Wikipedia, because we have another resource we can dig into, and we have that great list. So the book includes at least, okay, we did that part. She's praised most for the beast. Okay. The sea creature, style, beast, is different from the usual humanistic portrayal. Boyle veers away from all normalities of the character, lacking an upright position, human facial features, and clothes. Well, I have to see this because that's wild. I'm just putting a Band-Aid on while we talk here, because I have a boo-boo that I need to cover up. Okay. Other notable works by her are illustrations in The Story Without an End and Child's Play, as well as her illustrations and writings in Ros Rosarium ex Hordo Poetarium, 1885. The Story Without an End is originally a German story by Friedrich Wilhelm Kurov. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but I think I did okay with Frederick and Willem. There he is. He's a German philosopher and publicist. It was later translated by Sarah Austin into English and illustrated by Boyle. On the other hand, Child's Play and Ros Rosarium ex Hordo Poetarium were written by Boyle herself. Ooh. In Child's Play, she matched famous nursery rhymes with her illustrations. And in Ros Rosarium ex Hordo Poetarium, she wrote poems and created illustrations for them. Ros Rosarium ex Hordo Poetarium is subtitled Dew of the Ever-Living Rose, Gathered from the Poet's Gardens of Many Lands. I'm scooching closer to my screen because I'm having some issues again. I'm still getting a little bit used to my setup here. So my apologies for, stuff like this. Stuff like stopping and squinting and all that stuff. I'm just trying to make sure that I can see. Ros Rosarium ex Hordo Poetarium is subtitled Dew of the Ever-Living Rose, Gathered from the Poet's Gardens of Many Lands. It is one of the most highly acclaimed works by scholars and claimed to be culturally important. Okay, Wikipedia. Claimed to be culturally important. If it's culturally important, that's great. But like, claimed is kind of like a side eye. You know what I mean? So like, pick a side. Boyle continued to write with a focus on nature as she wrote and illustrated garden books. In the last 32 years of her life, she wrote and illustrated for Days and Hours in a Garden, 1884, A Garden of Pleasure, 1895, 7 Gardens in a Palace, 1900, and Garden Color, 1905. Her last work came 8 years prior to her death. The Peacock's Pleasance, 1908, a collection of 12 essays, considered belles lettres. I'm just pretending I have an accent. I don't know. What is belles lettres? Belles lettres is a category of writing, originally meaning beautiful or fine writing. In the modern narrow sense, it is a label for literary works that do not fall into the major categories such as fiction, poetry, or drama. The phrase is sometimes used pejoratively for writing. Hold on. We need to learn more. The phrase is sometimes used pejoratively for writing that focuses on the aesthetic qualities of language rather than its practical application. A writer of the belles letters is a belletrist. Okay, I'm interested in learning more about what this is. I don't want to forget this. I'm going to screenshot this too, because that would be good to know about. Belles lettres. This is just something that's kind of interesting. I don't know what this is. I need more information, and we're not going to get it today. So let's do that. Now, here's her other works. A Child's Summer in the Firwood, A New Child's Play, A London Sparrow at the Condorees. All right, let's do this. Okay, hold on. I clicked on these links last night and they were dead. Let's do it again just because we're very eager people here. No, yeah, see, dead link. Okay. I'm going to go here and video details. I got a bunch of links. So let's go to LibriVox. Hold on one. I'm grabbing a link real quick here. Grabbing a link. And we're gonna go to, let's look at if we can find, oh shoot, we don't need to do that. Sorry guys. LibriVox. Hold on, let's just go to, sorry about that. LibriVox. I want to see if we can find, I know there's one. Yeah, there's one book. Let's look and see if we can look at this book, because I want to just see. Oh, look, Martha Weller read it. I wonder if we're related. When I was a kid, I didn't know of any other Wellers besides people related to me. And now that I'm older, I see more of the name Weller cropping up. And it's kind of interesting. I'm always like, I wonder if we're related. Okay. I don't need to read it. I want to just look at it. Okay, I think we went to the wrong place. So if you go to LibriVox, you can listen to it. I'm going to go to Gutenberg Project, and we can see if we can find the book, something of her books to actually look at. Okay, corner. Give me a minute. Okay. Days and Hours in the Garden. Let's... Oh, Beauty and the Beast. Let's look at the Beauty and the Beast. Let's go to read now. I love how the U is a V. Isn't that cool? Okay. Oh, the little doggy picture. I didn't know this was from Beauty and the Beast. Okay, list of illustrations. I like how they keep the layout. This is basically like scans. So I'll stop scrolling. There's one. We're in the book Beauty and the Beast right now. In the King's Garden, the feast is ready and the minstrels wait. All right, we're going to scroll again. Beautiful little botanical. Little Gothic sculpture looking thing with their little flower, little angel, little weed, dandelion. Okay, I'm gonna scroll fast now. Okay, let's get to the color pictures. Okay, I want to see the beast. He's not the beast. That's a merchant found a little door in the wall and he opened it and went into the beast's garden. Okay, more flowers. Oh yeah, I love it. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Whoa, hey, that's a beast. That's the beast. No? Right? That is the beast because they said it's kind of a walrus looking creature. Wow. Oh, you know what else? She added cacti. I mean, cacti's cool. I love cactus. And like different succulent plants. Look at that creature. That is a beast up. That is wild. That's like Nosferatu-ish. little bald like oh, little monkey. Little ant with wings and a fly thing. Okay. All right, let's keep scrolling. Okay, I did see some of these pieces. I want to look at more beast. There's Beast. Whoa. He's like a cross between a rat, I don't know, one of those slippery, one of those slippery swimmer guys. One of those slippery swimmer type of animals with walrus. But I have to say he was much cuter in the other picture. He's really ratty looking here, which is very beastly. I mean, good job, you know? Nice work. One sister's husband, like Narcissus of old, worshipped his own beauty, but the other was full of learning. Okay. Story of brothers. One brother's cool and interesting. The other one is only interested in himself, right? Okay, look at this. Wow. That's a neat one. Okay. He looks much more sympathetic creature, right? There. I mean, that's a beautiful face right there. That's a nice picture. I mean, very creative. Very unique. The one of him sitting at the table is like very creepy. All right, let's back up. Let's go to Days and Hours in a Garden now and look at some of this. If you're hanging with me, thank you for hanging out with me. I really appreciate you. And I really hope that you're excited about December, because December is going to be so fun. December is going to be, I'm really excited because it's going to be totally different than what we're doing now. And I love what we're doing now, but I will say I'm ready for a little break after 2 months of Wikipedia reads. And I love Wikipedia, don't get me wrong. Okay. I love Wikipedia. I love it. And it's great. And I'm sure we'll go back to this, but I am looking forward to like art hangs. You know what I mean? Like solid, unadulterated art hangs and art alongs, you know, and like project theme type of like, let's just do this together and this is going to be fun. Days and Hours in a Garden. Okay. This is her book. I love EVB. That's just so of her to have that. That's just my name, EVB, you know? On the book, it just looks so vicious, you know? In a good way. Looks so tough. All right. I love to look at the layout. This is cool. I love it when they do like a little illustration around the page like that. Like I loved when we looked at Edward Lear and Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and how they designed the page with the art. And it was like, can you imagine like no Photoshop, no InDesign, no Adobe is what I'm saying. No graphics programs to help out with that. That's all done by hand, and then the illustrations and the, you know, words under the artwork, you know, like the caption for the art. Okay. Scroll. Okay. Oh, nice. Oh, wait. Click image to enlarge. Ooh, what is this? The Balka Oe and part of the Tantus. I love stuff that I know means something, but I don't know what it means. And it makes you curious when you love the art, when you're intrigued by the art and it's like exotic and different and unknown. It's like, what does that mean? And you know, like it just gives it so much more like intrigue, you know. I'm intrigued by this. Should I draw this one instead? I don't even know what it is though. The balkage. I'm going to read the bottom little blurb here. The balkage and part of the fantasy. The glorietta, large almond line of same. Border of the blue gentian, pigeon house, grass paths, and. I'm just reading, like, see how there's numbers on the art? There's a caption up below. And I'm like, what does this... That's what I'm doing. I'm just trying to explain. I'm being in a third person way for some reason. I'm trying to explain what I just read. The bocage and part of the fantasy. 1. Glorietta. 2. Large elm and line of same. 3. Border of blue gentian. 4. Pigeon house. Graphs, paths, and. I don't know. Let's scroll down a little bit more. That's cool. Okay, this, I just love these designs. Awake, north wind, and come thou south wind, and blow upon my garden, that the spices thereof may flow for what? Hold on. I gotta zoom this in. I wonder if this is like Farmer's Almanac, but like the prose version. May flow for, what does that say? Fourth. I'm gonna draw that. I like that. February with the trees of the garden. Wake. Okay, let me gulp. Awake, O north wind, and cometh, O south wind, and blow upon my garden, that the this is hard to read, that the spices thereof may flow forth. Okay, yes, please. Okay, now I just want to, I really want to, hold on a second. I need to just grab this. Oh, whoops. I didn't do that on purpose. Sorry, guys. Hold on one second. I'm going to fix that. I'm going to fix that in 1 second. Okay, there we go. I'm going to fix that. There we go. Back to what we were at. Okay. I just have to put this. Oh, I like this one too. Fair Maids of February. Okay, hold on. I gotta save image as here. Okay. I think we hit the jackpot here. I think we may have hit the jackpot here. Okay. I love this stuff. I think we hit the mother lode here. Okay, yes. Yes, please. Oh yeah, okay, let's read a little bit around this. Fair Maids of February. Okay, there's no caption, so besides Fair Maids of February. March, we got some little birds. Of rooks and close of the day, of fairy garlands, snowdrops, and wild ivy. She is poetic. Hold on, I'm facing the other direction now. My apologies. I'm looking at my other screen. Just so I can... Oh, little dead bird? Is that a dead bird? To the wise, a fact is true poetry, and the most beautiful of fables, Emerson. You know, I really like her little poetry that she does before the month. What did she do before February? Before February she did... Oh, there isn't one. Oh, wait. We didn't go to the beginning of February. Here we are. There never was a juster debt than what the dry do pay for wet. Never a debt was paid more nigh as what the wet do pay for dry. Ooh. Land of Mandarogora. Land of Mandragora and the Serpent Flower. She is really poetic, I must say. This reminds me of like a Farmer's Almanac style. But here's your poetry for the year. Here's your garden poetry. But it's not, because it's just talking about the little poems are in the beginning, and then she's just talking practical-ish stuff. The pruning and trimming of all the ivy walls and festoons has been done. The result for the time is as ugly as it is desirable. Okay, yeah, so it's like it's an actual legitimate garden book. This is cute. May. Of cherry blossoms, the nightingale's melodious noise of broken stones, etc. She is poetic. June, a mosaic of nectared sweets. She is poetic. Of Pink May, that's the name of a band right there. Pink May. Swallows in the porch, flowers de luce, poppies, a little Scotch rose, and Clutie. I don't know what Clutie is, but it's a cute word. Okay, we have to just finish scrolling on this now. Megan! Megan made it! Hey, Megan! High five! We are in this wild... Oh, I have overused the word wild again. That's okay. This book where our artist of the day wrote this garden book and illustrated it as well, and she is just poetic like nothing. She is just poetic. It is not growing like a tree. Okay, that's not her poem, but I'm going to read it anyway. It is not growing like a tree in bulk that makes man better be. The lily of the day is fairer far in May. Although it fall and die that night, it was the plant and flower of light. Beautiful! Oh my gosh! It is not. Let's read that one more time. It is not growing like a tree in bulk that makes man better be. The lily of a day is fairer far in May. Although it fall and die that night, it was the plant and flower of light. Why don't they write like that now? I don't read enough poetry. That's all that's about. Oh my gosh. This is like too inspiring because I feel like this just inspires projects. You know what I mean? This just inspires art. Ah, sunflower, weary of time, who countest the steps of the sun, seeking after that sweet golden prime, where the traveler's journey is done, where the youth pined away with desire, and the pale virgin shrouded in snow, arise from their graves and aspire, where my sunflower wishes to go. Oh my god. These are awesome. This is awesome. And then she keeps quoting Emerson, which I love. In graceful succession, in equal fullness, the balanced beauty, the dance of the hours goes forward still. I love that. Am I just feeling inspired today? Or are others as well just as like engaged? Others, by others I mean you guys, my art fam over here. My art fam. I'm just going to call you my art fam because I need a name for you guys. Like collectively. Let me know what you think. If you like it, you hate it. Don't hate it. I hope you don't hate it. Okay, and then here's the end. This is magic. Okay. This book is just... I'm just like collecting myself. I get emotional about things. This book is just giving me like I love. I love. Okay. Okay. This book is LibriVox. Hold on. Days. Hold on. I'm going to put the link to this book. The link to this book is, you can listen to this book on LibriVox. Yes. I'm going to do that. I'm going to put that baby on LibriVox and go to work today. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to press play on LibriVox and listen. Listen. I can't wait. It's good because I have a lot of work to do today. I have work to do today that I need to like focus and get it done. But I don't need, you know, my ear holes to, I can use those for other things. So, okay. The link at the top of the description now, Days and Hours in the Garden, book in public domain. First link is LibriVox. Listen and then watch. Listen, listen, watch. I'm going to say listen here, listen, and then you can look, okay? Listen and look. I mean, I really love looking at the layouts and stuff. And yeah, even though it's like a gigantic block of text and then an art, that's still like, this is how they laid it out, you know? I love that. I love to see what they did. I like to see how things have how things, you know, in culture, like how design has changed and stuff. Okay. We're moving things back to what they're supposed to be now. Okay. Let's do this. So let's draw. Let's draw. I'm going to draw that scroll. I'm going to draw that picture because that's like what has moved me today, is that, and that's like the moment when I was like, wait a minute, this book is kind of fantastic. So I'm good. I'm feeling really good. I am going to be back in 2 seconds. No, not 2 seconds. It's probably going to be more like 5 minutes. I'm going to put this on screen on a, we'll have a slideshow while I'm out. Everything is close to being set up and I know what I'm drawing. So we're in really good shape. Things should go really fast. And then we're going to draw. I'm so excited. So let's do this and we'll be right back. See you in a minute. See you in a minute. I'm back. Hey, thanks for hanging in with me. I know that was a long wait. Had a little bit of technical difficulties, but figured it out. Figured it out. Let's do that. Is that better? Okay. Let's have some coffee. I have to say, I think I've been making this coffee too weak because it's fabulous right now. I added just a little bit extra coffee to my coffee French press today. Oh, I wanted to share a new development with you, or like an update. This ink, which I'm very much enjoying this ink. I've filled a bunch of my pens with it. I think it's a little cloggy. Because I have this Pentel Pocket brush pen. Oh, we'll talk about this in a minute. I have this Pentel Pocket brush pen, and it's totally full. Like, I filled this. I filled it. It's full. It's full. Where's the beef, baby? Where's the beef? I'm going to dunk it in a little water. Just to... I don't know what to do here. I mean, this is not an empty chamber. And when I push... If I push... I'm trying to push the ink out. No ink. This is just like... I love the dirt, but come on. When you want ink, right? Sigh. Sigh. Okay. So yesterday, this is just a little update on yesterday. Marion North. After I got off the stream, I just got a little happy with the ink. And I thought, this needs a little ink. So I have this Bombay. This is like, oh, India ink. I thought this was acrylic ink. This is India ink. I don't know the physical makeup differences, except I think that India ink is more, it's got more like granules in it, you know? It's not like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about, because I don't know the difference, but I only know how they behave differently. And acrylic ink is not. It's got polymers in it, you know? I don't think India ink has polymers in it, but it's pigments that may or may not be gritty and like get stuck in pigmented India ink. Anyway, it says non-clogging, non-toxic, flows. Okay, I find that these get like it gets. See like the edge. See how on the corner on the edge it's like kind of crispy, and it's got this like when it dries it gets like this crispy hard. Actually, that was not. What am I talking about? That actually was not that crispy and hard. What I'm trying to get at is these bottles can like seal themselves shut and then just be like hard to open, like glued, but glued with the substance that is not movable, you know. But I was able to open these and use them. I used Bombay India ink. I don't know what the difference. Oh no, these are not pigment. These are Dr. Martin's Radiant Concentrated Watercolor. I think these are just ink, though. I don't think these are pigment. I think these are like pigment-free ink. And don't quote me. I could be wrong. But that's what I think. That is what I think. These are ink. Because when I was a kid, my dad used these for illustrations all the time. And they're very, very bright. They're very, very saturated and juicy and larger than life. They're like, pow, you know? And they're great. And they reproduce beautifully. But They are not light fast. They are not light fast. So you got to be careful with these. They're totally beautiful. I'm just looking at what technical pen, brush, airbrush. They're beautiful. They are not light fast though. So, you know, if you're doing something that is for reproduction, have at it. Just don't use them for something that you want to put on your wall and put in the sun, you know, because then you're going to be sad. Okay, let's do this. Kind of wanted to do the book cover, but I changed my mind when I read this because I really love a little heartfelt poetry prose moment, and I really like this, so I think we'll do this. I also think it's something that's like it's concentrated. It's concentrated enough that will be easier to, actually the book cover was to kind of keep me in a keep me boxed in, so I won't go off script too much. You know, that's one of my specialties. I want to tilt my page though, because this is already feeling a little warped. What else can I grab to tilt my page? Let's try this. Looking around the table, here's something I can maybe potentially use to tilt me. What's that? We can do that. What's that? How are we looking? That's good. How's Megan doing today? I'm gonna fix that, you guys, so you can see. Don't worry. There we go. How's that? All right, let's do this. Let's do this. We are gonna do. I got it a little bit. It's a little warped, but that's okay. I'm gonna save this pen for my shading later, and let's go in with this one. I think, let's see how this one works. We'll see. I'm not really sure. Not really sure. And it's this illustration that we have here is hard to see, but that's okay. I'm willing to work with it. I'm willing to work with it because I love it. I think it's really sweet. And I'm also willing to just fill in the gaps because it's very, you know, it's difficult to see what this is, honestly, but that's okay. I know it's plant life. I know there's leaves, you know. I'm just going to draw some where's my other brush pen? All my brush pens are clogged right now, which is a sad state to be in. All right, we're going to use the pencil for the moment. For the moment, we're going to use a pencil. Nope. I am not done experimenting with what I want to use today. And that's okay. I'm entitled, right? Giving myself a break. We got some pods over here. But this would be so much more delightful with a brush pen that had ink in it. So I think maybe I'll just do the dippity-doo. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the dip. Give me one momento to figure out this stuff here. And then we will get to work. Ooh, I have an idea. Let's do let's go wild and do like a water dip today. See if how that works with this pencil rather. This is the Lyra 2B, or not to be. I'm just kidding. This is the Lyra water soluble pencil, and I'm just dipping it in some water and working with that. So let's go. Let's see how long this. Let's see how far this takes us before I chuck it and go back to my brush pen. I think I'll add brush pen in later because the dirt, you just can't get this dirt anywhere, and this drawing that I'm working from very much is very in keeping with the dirt that pen gives me. So let's do that. This is one of the good things about having paper on your work surface. You can do a little mix. So here's what I'm doing. I'm dipping my Lyra 2B water soluble pencil in a little thing of water here. And then I go onto my paper and I'm just like doing that. And look, I made myself some nice paint, right? I made myself a little ink right there. So I'm going to do that on the, I'm going to do the same thing, but off camera. So I'm going to make my little pool off camera so I can still have my paper on camera. But I'll be doing the same thing over here. So we'll see how this works. Kind of fun to experiment, right? Good to have patience with the process and just play around with things, you know? Like sometimes an empty pen is a good thing because it forces you to look around your desk and say, hey, what else can I use here? What else haven't I tried here? Have I tried to dip this gigantic graphite into water yet and just draw with it that way? What would happen? Can I still get delicate lines with that way? Let's see. Let's see what we can do here. It's really nice to have a little spot to it's nice to have a little paper spot or a little, you know, drawing spot to sort of activate your pencil into watery existence, you know? That's a good thing. I like working with things like this because I think it's an important practice to keep yourself from getting too precious about things, because like ego in your art is like the death of creativity. So if you're letting yourself explore, and by explore there's going to be moments that you're not, you know, aesthetically like into what's on the page. But if you're looking at it with a different eye, if you look at it like leading with curiosity, I know I say that, and I really don't mean it to be platitudey at all, because platitudes aren't really useful if they don't take into account the range of, you know, emotion and like meaning. You know what I mean? Like, platitudes only make sense when they cover the good and the bad, you know? If you know what I'm saying. I think did I leave any room? Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay. Because the thing I like about this artwork too is it's really like, it almost looks like she didn't plan it out. It looks like it kind of looks to me like she was just making decisions for what was coming after doing something before. So like maybe she didn't lay it out. And I'm not at all criticizing, because I like to work like that sometimes. And I know that planning things out is important a lot of the time. But I personally feel like there's like a pocket that you want to work in that's in between where you're thinking about things ahead and or like if you're sketching something out, there's like a sweet spot where you don't want to overdo the planning. Because if overdoing planning, if you ask me, in my opinion, I really don't like overdoing planning. Because I think it takes the magic out of a piece, you know? That's my opinion. That's my thoughts. These are my thoughts. When you over plan your piece, I like to leave room for magic. That's how I like to explain it. And I really think that is apt, because it is like a kind of a what's the word I'm looking for? You know what word I'm looking for. There's a alchemy that happens, and you want to work in that pocket if you can with your art. Like this is like the first time I'm drawing this. It's a mess right now. I'm keeping with it even though I know it's not right. Like it's all wrong, but that's okay. That's fine. I'm going with it. That's another thing. Sticking with things through the ugly is important, because then you're never going to get to the spot, you know? You got to give things a chance to breathe and to, you know, go through their little adolescent stage. You know, things don't automatically, this is the whole, you know, reels and stuff and everything's fast. I know you post the fast art, or you post like one line and then something's done or whatever. It's just like, no. I like to show the ugly, honestly. And I know it's not popular, it's not trendy, to do that. But honestly, one of the things that sort of needled me to start live streaming all the time is the AI thing, the AI proliferation, and how, oh, it's so easy to just make a prompt. It's like, first of all, you're killing the creative cells in your brain if you're just telling a chat GPT, like, make this for me, you know, and not activating your own brain cells to do it. Like, come on. You know what I mean? Like, short-term rewards, long-term starvation. You know what I mean? You're starving your brain cells, or starving your creative self down the road. If you're relying on this stuff, yeah, it's easy, or it's, you know, quick. It's quick, it's convenient. It's going to save you money right now or make you money right now. It's like empty calories, baby. And you know, I love some Pringles, but it's a different kind of calories, I think. I get it, but you know, that is not, I get it, but I don't agree that that is where we should be headed, you know? Do we want to train ourselves to not remember or not have that connection to creative thought, and like, or change the way you have creative thought? Like, what is happening? That's what I'm freaking out about. I mean, I'm not freaking out, but well, you know, I'm probably where you are if you're watching this. I'm like, no, I don't want to live like that. Okay, I'm really, really enjoying this water dipping thing. I think this is very therapeutic. And talking about how AI is just destroying culture is just, this is also therapeutic. While I'm dipping my graphite and drawing with it. This is great. My gosh, please join in. I do find it very fascinating to, off on a different trail here. When looking at something with very little information, such as this very low resolution, black and white, sketchy, I don't know if this is an etching or what it is. I don't know what she did this in. I do sometimes find it very interesting and I don't love doing stuff that's so low res that I can't see what's going on and I have to fill in the gaps, but filling in the gaps is in and of itself a creative exercise, and it's not a bad one to take part in every once in a while. So hey, grab a low res picture and do a little do a little drawing of it. And while you're at it, grab something like this where you can't really, well, this actually does give you a line. I was going to say grab something thick and grab something thick and something where you need to have proprioception, which is like feeling around where you go, feeling where you want to put a dot instead of actually seeing where you want to put a dot. If you Google proprioception, so you know what I'm talking about. They explain it better than me. I mean, not that I'm, you know, I use Google. I know Google is on the AI thing too, but there is this there's also this you can't escape it level, but I control what I can control. And I want to promote human creativity. That is what is really important to me as a human, as an artist, as a person. It's very important to me that people continue to create. From a place of their own, you know, brain cells. And a place from their own power, because we want to, you know, keep the tradition of using our brains in use, right? And of using our own creativity. I think we're done. I think we're done. Hold on. Show you the finale, the grand finale. We have graphite, water-soluble graphite. Let me sit down. Water-soluble graphite. This is pen and ink paper, Canson XL. We have water-soluble graphite with water. Covered up the ink I initially started using. So no ink. We didn't use ink. We used the Lyra and we used the Derwent Graphitone, which I can't find right now. Derwent Graphitone is the one that looks like it's like a pencil size. This is not. This is like a chunk. So I use those both and dip it into water. It's really fun. And then scribble it on another something. Scribble it on some paper or something to get a little puddle. And then you get like you hit the sweet spot with it where it's like just creamy enough, but also isn't dripping water if you can avoid it. But you know, you're gonna hit some drips and that's okay. You're gonna get some little water moments and that's okay. You work with it, right? Bunch of Neocolor too. Neocolor 2, a brush, a little water, a little paper towel to make sure you're not dripping all over the place. And this was super fun. I really enjoyed this one. When you can get excited about something and take it in a new direction than when you saw it originally. So I really did like, I really do like the original, but I was craving a little color and I have a low res picture, and plus it's like from the 1850s, right? Or 1800s. So I don't even know. I think it's probably an engraving. Maybe it's an ink drawing. I don't know what it is. I do love it though. But it's hard. I have to like work from a low res, so you got that going for you. So I just want to create something new with it. Something different. And but keep in the stay in the vibe, right? And keep it as a homage. And I think that this definitely fits that bill. And it was so fun to experiment and to just mix mediums like this. Because, you know, it's like, it may not always be what you expect or what you think you wanted to begin with, but it's always fun and exciting, right? Like, look, we got some mud going on here, which is kind of cool. Create new colors, and when you mix the graphite with the Neocolor, it grays it, you know, it makes it dirty, but like that's good sometimes. You can work with it, right? Work with it. And then we got, you know, I started using the Neocolor in here, and it was really getting muddy and dirty, and you just got to embrace it. That's what I did. I just embraced it, you know? Embrace it, work with it, and see what comes out. And this was super fun, and clearly I don't even want to put down my Lyra. So thanks for joining me today. This was super fun, and I loved pulling out a bunch of things that I haven't really been, I can't really say I haven't really been using them because I always pull out the Neocolor 2s, but mixing stuff was fun. So mixing the graphite, mixing the water-soluble graphite with the Neocolor 2s was a lot of fun, and I love a scroll with some lettering, so a lot of fun. Oh, and I did EVB at the bottom for Eleanor Vere Boyle. So here is the final, and thank you for coming, and I will be back tomorrow with another artist. So come on back tomorrow at 10 and join me for another Wikipedia read on another artist that maybe we don't know, but maybe we should know, from the 19th century. All right? Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.